Alright guys, so this build we got here is one of the best meta picks out there. It's so good, you're going to be thinking to yourself, is this too strong? You're going to be shitting your pants from how crazy this build is. You don't believe me? Well, let's just listen to what our customer Astacross had to say about this build.
This guy has hit me with that every single time. It's done a tremendous amount of damage. He gets him some amplified with it too. He's got centrifuge. Good combo. A great combo actually.
Alright. So, I'll be honest, this build is not that competitive. You know, just giving you some false advertising there, leading you in, roping you in. Rope. Anyways, what Astacross said is true. Aspects of the build are very strong. However, it simply lacks this strength, I don't know, viability where it won't be able to hang on against top tier players. Like Comp, Ascendant, you're gonna get shit on. Unless your teammates are gods. But, you know, good luck with that in solo queue. But since we can't make this build competitive, I was like, you know what? Let's focus on a different lens. Let's look through this build from a different angle, and let's make it not competitive, but you know what's even better than being competitive? Oh, that's right. Fun.
Give me your money.
Our journey begins with my discovery of the Ascension aspect and the brilliant idea of a pseudo-support hunter build that constantly gives amplified to your teammates. Seems simple enough, right? Wrong! I ran across so many issues while I was building and experimenting with it. So the first one is when I ran it on Prismatic, I quickly realized that Ascension, when you choose it as an aspect, you essentially lock yourself out from taking advantage of 2 out of the 4 options as your secondary aspect. Those being Threaded Spectre and Winter Shroud. Since you're using Ascension, you won't have your class ability to proc those, so great. So we want to use Stylish Executioner, right? With Facet of Solitude, so we can, you know, just proc invis, get the wall hacks, wreck everybody, right? Well, unfortunately, the weapon for this build, Centrifuge, it can't proc Facet of Solitude. And let me tell you, Centrifuge is a whole can of worms that I will get into later, but the point is, with the weapon of choice that we have for this build, we cannot use Stylish Executioner or Gunpowder Gamble, so we take a look at Arc. Now, Arc actually has some usable aspects to pair with Ascension. The only real reason you would want to run Prismatic instead of Arc would be Facet of Hope for the faster class ability recharge while having Amplified. However, you can also just use Flow State, which has the exact same effect. It just takes an aspect slot instead of a fragment slot. But in my opinion, that actually isn't worth it and is not the play to go for. What I choose is actually Tempest Strike because, first off, it's a really strong melee. It can be comboed with Ascension, and you can make some, you know, pretty flashy plays with it. The other aspect, like I said, Flow States, whatever the fuck the other one was called, that I don't remember. They're also viable, but in my opinion, Tempest Strike is just the better option. As for grenade choice, for me, it's Flashbang Grenade all the way. This grenade is like really good. It deals decent damage. It has a really short cooldown, and the blinding effect, it's really potent, and it's actually hilarious watching blinded players, you know, just scramble to do something.
You got blinded.
For fragments, I used Spark of Focus for the extra class ability uptime because we are trying to maximize that as much as possible. I ran it with Spark of Recharge for, you know, extra grenade and melee recharge, so we pretty much just always have our abilities as often as possible. Then you probably want to add like Spark of Discharge for the occasional Ionic traces when you get a kill. Or probably Spark of Brilliance just to, you know, double up on the explosions because, you know, fucking, what the hell, why not, right? And finally, for our exotic of choice, we shall be using Frosties. I know, it's boring, but we are trying to literally spam our abilities, and there's literally no better way to do that than with Frosties. So, one thing to note is you do want to keep your mobility stat at around 50 because Amplified gives you 50 mobility, so when you are Amplified, which is going to be all the time, you will have a total of 100 mobility, so that way you aren't wasting any mobility stats and you can focus on your other stats such as Discipline or Strength. And at this point, we actually have a solid arc build, which essentially has permanent Amplified, quick Tempest Strikes, and a lot of Flashbang Grenades. And if you take this build right now, use whatever weapons you want, probably something with low handling since you can make that up with Amplified, you can probably compete against decent players with this build. You just give your team Amplified, you know, do well, have fun. But if you want to take it a step further because you just want to gain all the benefits out of Amplified, you're going to want to pair it with a weapon that takes advantage of it. And the one that always comes to mind is the one and only Centrifuge. Now this weapon has put me through an emotional roller coaster of feelings because I don't know. I don't know how I want to feel about this weapon. At first, I was like really confident with its viability, and then I pretty much gave up on it, and now I've come to kind of a middle ground where it can be viable in certain circumstances, maybe. At first glance, it seems like it's actually good. You run with Centrifuge to build a overcharge, which grants you more range, handling, and bigger blinding explosions on kill. In practice, the range that you get at max overcharge barely reaches 30 meters, which friggin' sucks, man. That can barely compete with most 140s, even the legendary 450s like Amit, Braytech Werewolf, Prosecutor. They can easily reach 35 meters with just like a few range buffing barrels and mags. That's it. That's all it takes. But for Centrifuge, at max overcharge, it's like a wet noodle. This thing has no range. The main thing Centrifuge does have going for it, however, is the blinding explosions on kill, which once again is actually pretty funny. One thing I will note is that Centrifuge may be more viable on controller, so you know, those that have a controller, let me know. I picked up a controller. Last time I touched it was probably in the 6th grade playing Advanced Warfare or some shit like that. And let me tell you, I am some dog ass. However, I did notice that, you know, the shots do kind of magnetize. Maybe that's just a controller thing, and maybe that doesn't make up for the fact that Centrifuge just doesn't have any range at all. But it is probably more viable on controller than it is on mouse and keyboard. So if you are good with controller, not absolute dog ass like I am, you may have, you know, moderate success with it. All right, and what else is there to mention about this build? I guess try not to get screwed over by the Bungie art team on some of the maps because, you know, Tempest Strike will sometimes just fizzle off into nowhere because, you know, Bungie art team, great job, you're killing it, but we're trying to not get screwed here. And I think that pretty much does it for this build guide. This may certainly not be the strongest build out there, but you know, if you can make it work, then all power to you, buddy. Like, it's fun. It's hilarious watching blind people. I'm not gonna add any further context to that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know I certainly kind of did, maybe. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Have a good one. Later. That's another Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I appreciate you informing me. Because
I
I would
know,
have
yeah,
had no
not a
idea.
lot of people know these secret facts, but
I would have had no idea. I appreciate you.
yep, you're welcome. This is why we need transmap back. Yeah, you fucking ass with your primary. Your ass with your primary. this.
Hit with a glacier blast. Dude, okay, I kind of love this build. This is gonna be fun. I like this.
He's so blind. Yo.
Zone A lost. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage.
You see how much damage I'm getting when they're bunched up? Just. Well, it would have been an easy pullover maybe if my team was there to cover me for the 5 people that just spawned in. La, la, la,
That
la.
was my bad. I was stroking my pickle now.
Ma, could I get some loose pants or something? Some
No,
like
it's-
loose pants?
Okay, bro. I'm about to,
Cause I'm cold, bro.
I'm about to go something. Oh, I want to use cool weapons, and these are just
No.
5 minutes remain. A strong start. Fight on. Hold down. What can stop you if you fight together? That shut them down.
Holy.
Zone B lost. Enemy has zone advantage. You have advantage. You have my respect. And 2 for 1.
Oh. No.
Don't let your enemy take this without a fight.
Oh, dude.
Hold down.
What? Okay. You don't want that punk.
One after another. That was all of
Only one ally is left. He's in death.
He was over there. We didn't even kill him.
Only one enemy is left.
This is fan base. Coomers. Oh, is that why in
Well,
that one speech she said, "Do not come," and then Trump was like, "I'm gonna come."
Yeah, that is what.
Oh, I
Pretty
see.
Trump's in there fucking jerking off to her right now.
That's actually so hot. I would literally.
No! I'm selling. I'm selling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the fact that I only have 5 of these that are good.
Oh. How am I still alive? No, no, he got me, and he's bagging me. He's so mad. He hates me.
Yes, sir. That's
Yes,
not
bag him up. Oh
Why is he
yeah,
bagging
bag him
with
up.
my
I
shit
told him
ass
to do
build?
that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause
well, I'm better.
Zone B captured. That's a power.
Okay.
Yep, bitch ass plug didn't even die.
Now hold them.
dick ass Doug didn't even.
Whatever.
Didn't even Dilkerson.
Didn't even Dilker Dingus. Didn't
Let it
even
go.
Yilk or Yangus.
I'm gonna go jerk off.
Wow. Why would you
Yes.
not yilk the Yingus? Like,
Why is your camera not on while you're yerking your carrot? I want some of that carrot juice. Yeah!
yeah.
Yo!
Oh.